From the very first moment the screams echoed across the empty school courtyard, it was clear that something terrible was happening. A young, disabled girl, fragile yet fiercely dignified, clung to her wheelchair as three older kids circled her like shadows feeding on cruelty. Her service dog, a trained police K9 named Ranger, barked desperately, trying to protect her as the bullies shoved him aside. The scene looked like a nightmare unfolding under the harsh afternoon sun, and to anyone who saw it, one truth was undeniable. This wasn't just bullying. It was a test of humanity itself, and humanity was failing. If you believe in kindness, courage, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. Maya was 14, small for her age, and born with a condition that weakened her legs, making walking almost impossible. But she never let the wheelchair define her. She was bright, warm, and imaginative, the kind of girl who smiled even when the world didn't smile back. Her greatest companion was Ranger, a retired police dog specially assigned to help her with balance, mobility, and emotional protection. Ranger wasn't just a pet, he was a lifeline, a steady presence, a guardian who understood her in ways people rarely did. The trouble began when Maya transferred to a new school in a quiet town where everyone already knew everyone else, except her. The first few weeks were lonely, but she tried to stay hopeful. That hope shattered the day three wealthy boys, sons of influential businessmen, decided she was different enough to become their entertainment. At first, it was mocking laughter as she wheeled past. Then it became sarcastic clapping whenever Ranger nudged against her legs. Eventually, it escalated into them pushing her wheelchair slightly off balance just to watch her panic. The school staff brushed it off as kids being kids, blinded by the boys' family names. Behind her brave smile, Maya crumbled. A little more every day. She never told her parents because she didn't want them to worry. She didn't want the world to think she was weak. But Ranger knew. He felt her trembling hands. He heard her silent cries at night. Each morning he walked beside her with renewed determination, as if he could absorb all her pain simply by staying close. The worst day came on a Friday afternoon, when Maya stayed late to finish a science project. The courtyard was nearly empty when the boys appeared. Their smirks were sharper than usual, and their eyes sparkled with something reckless. They circled her wheelchair, blocking every escape path. Maya tried to stay calm, but her heart raced. Ranger growled low, positioning himself between her and the boys. One of them laughed and kicked Ranger's side, not hard enough to injure severely, but enough to stun and confuse him. He yelped, stumbled, and looked back at Maya, torn between fear and the instinct to protect. She panicked, holding the wheelchair arm so tightly that her fingers turned white. The boys mocked her tears, calling her weak, useless, and a burden even to a dog. The sky felt heavy, pressing down as if nature itself recoiled from the cruelty. For the first time in her life, Maya felt truly helpless, trapped in a chair, trapped in fear, trapped in a moment that seemed impossible to escape. But justice has a way of arriving exactly when it's needed most. A deep, authoritative voice thundered across the courtyard as footsteps rushed in. Officer Daniels, a seasoned police officer known for his calm strength, had been on campus for a safety training demonstration. He wasn't expecting to witness this, but the moment he saw Maya and Ranger cornered, something inside him ignited. He sprinted toward them with the intensity of a father protecting his own child. The boys froze, guilt flashing across their faces like lightning. Officer Daniels reached them within seconds, stepping between Maya and her tormentors. His presence alone dissolved their arrogance, but his words, firm, cold, unyielding, made the courtyard fall silent. Maya felt the tension in her chest ease as Ranger leaned against her leg, shaking slightly but safe. What followed was a whirlwind. The school administration, forced to finally confront what they had ignored, launched an immediate investigation. Witnesses came forward, many of them kids who had been too afraid to speak up before. Videos surfaced, short clips of the boys teasing Maya, pushing her wheelchair, and harassing Ranger. The truth was no longer something that could be brushed aside. Officer Daniels became Maya's voice when hers trembled. He insisted on justice not only as a police officer, but as a human being who refused to watch cruelty go unpunished. Ranger, still recovering from the shock, stayed close to Maya during every meeting, every discussion, every painful retelling of what had happened. The boys' influential families tried to dismiss everything as a misunderstanding, but this time, the truth was undeniable. The school suspended the boys indefinitely, and mandatory counseling sessions were ordered. Their parents were forced to confront what their negligence had allowed their children to become. As the dust settled, the community rallied around Maya. Students who had once avoided eye contact now smiled at her in the halls. Teachers checked on her more often. Ranger became something of a hero in the school. Kids would gently reach out to pet him, always asking permission first. It was as if the entire environment shifted from cold indifference to warm acceptance. But the real transformation happened inside Maya. The fear that once hollowed her out slowly gave way to confidence. She realized she wasn't weak. She wasn't a burden. She had survived something cruel and emerged not just standing but rising, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Ranger sensed her renewed strength and walked with his head a little higher, proud of the girl he had sworn to protect. Officer Daniels continued visiting her, offering guidance and encouraging her to join a community program for young leaders. Maya hesitated at first, but soon she discovered she had a voice worth hearing. Her story inspired others who had faced their own battles. She became a symbol of quiet resilience, proof that even those who face the hardest challenges can rise above them. Months later, during a school assembly dedicated to kindness and empathy, Maya was invited on stage. She felt nervous but also empowered. Ranger walked beside her, tail steady, eyes alert. As she looked out at the students, the same crowd that had once looked through her, she felt no bitterness, only hope. She shared her story, not to shame anyone, but to remind everyone that cruelty can break a person, but compassion can rebuild them. Her words brought tears to more than a few eyes. Even Officer Daniels, standing near the back, felt a lump in his throat. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Your one click helps spread kindness and encourages more people to stand up for what's right. Before the ending, here is a special request. Please comment below. Kindness is strength. Let's fill the comment section with positivity. In the end, Maya didn't just move past the bullying, she transformed it into a powerful message. She showed her school, her community, and thousands who would someday hear her story that the world can be harsh, but it can also be beautifully gentle, that even the darkest moments can lead to breathtaking light, and that sometimes justice doesn't arrive with noise or violence. It arrives with a brave police officer, a loyal dog, and a girl strong enough to rise again. Maya's journey became a reminder that heroes come in many forms. Some wear uniforms, some have 4 legs, and some sit in wheelchairs but carry the heart of a warrior.